Maybe you've been wondering why your life hasn't really changed. Why do others seem to be succeeding left and right while you feel stuck, maybe even struggling? The answer isn't some big secret, but it's often missed. It's not about a lack of goals or knowledge. It's about something deeper, raw resolve and unshakable determination. Look, 99% of people make a fundamental mistake about goals. They think a goal is just something you check off a list. But a real goal? It's a catalyst. It's meant to transform you at your core. Average people set average goals. Oh, I'd like to make a little more money. Maybe my life could be a bit better. I just want to be slightly more successful than I am now. That kind of thinking? That's the invisible cage, the chains of mediocrity that keep you exactly where you are. The truly wealthy? They operate on a different level entirely. They set massive, audacious goals. They aim to disrupt industries, create new history, build businesses that change the world, achieve things people will remember for generations. Why such a huge difference? Simple. Small goals only require small action. Big goals demand big actions. That's the critical difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. Want to know why your bank account isn't growing? Here's the real reason. Your goal balance inside your heart is critically low. That idea of an income ceiling, like hitting $1 million a year, that's not real. It's just a psychological barrier you've built. Think about the wealthiest people out there. They didn't start special. Many were drowning in debt, felt hopeless, were abandoned by others. What flipped the switch? It wasn't talent, environment, or luck. It was one single decision and the actions that followed. That fierce, burning resolve, I am absolutely not going to end my life like this. That decision rewrote their reality. Your goals must have specific numbers. Someday, I want to be successful. Too weak. Maybe I'll be rich eventually. Too vague. Try this. Within 3 years, I will triple my income. Within 5 years, I will start my company and create 100 jobs. Within 10 years, I will build a business valued at $1 billion. That is the kind of goal that can actually change your life. Starting today, it's surprisingly simple. Every morning, say your goal out loud. Keep repeating it until you feel it in every cell of your body. A vague dream only starts turning into reality when you attach specific numbers to it. Right now, your inner voice is probably screaming. It's saying, "You can't end your life like this. You have so much more potential." Stop ignoring that voice. Today is the day you stop pretending you don't hear it. Listen, changing your life fundamentally isn't just about knowing stuff or having aha moments. It's about unwavering resolve and massive action. The wealthiest people, they look at a typical life and ask, is this really worth it? You know, the endless commute, the soulless office, sitting at the same boring desk, repeating the same complaints and frustrations and day after day. How much value is really in a life like that? Having a meaningful goal. That's a declaration of war on the status quo. It's a brave rebellion against a boring, average existence. Right now, you're standing at a critical crossroads. Are you going to let yourself be buried in the everyday, or are you going to ride the wave of change and create a new legend? Only you can make that choice. The time to decide is now. Your new legend? It starts this very moment. You probably don't even know your true potential. Why? Because right now you're living in a cage, a cage built by society's expectations and your own limited beliefs. Your wings are clipped. What did the truly wealthy people do first? They shattered their false ideas about themselves. They discovered an astonishing truth. Human potential is far bigger than we can possibly imagine. So why do most people miss this? They're locked in a prison they volunteered for, called common sense. Oh, I can only do this much. That's way too hard for me. Big success? That's not for someone like me. That kind of thinking? It's what keeps your feet glued to the ground. The wealthy? They're totally different. They know there are no real limits to what a human can achieve. Age, background, education, connections. They see those as excuses. There are people who started companies at 70 and built global empires. People who dropped out of high school and flipped entire industries on their head. People who built fortunes, starting from massive debt. The only thing they have in common? They absolutely refused to limit their own potential. That same potential is sleeping inside you. But to wake it up, you have to cut the chains of self-doubt. Try it right now. Say out loud, I have unlimited potential. Does it feel weird? That weirdness, that's the chain holding you back. The wealthy practice this every single day, morning and night. They believe in their potential fiercely, almost fanatically. Why? Because you literally only get the results you believe you can get. If your income is low, it's probably because you've unconsciously set a limit for yourself. Honestly, making $10 million a year and making $300,000? It takes surprisingly similar effort. The only difference is your perception of your own value. The wealthy set their value at an astronomical level, so naturally their results are astronomical. Successful people have a key habit: daily self-talk. Standing in front of the mirror, they ask themselves, am I really satisfied with where I am right now? How much value can I pack into today? Can I find even one breakthrough today? They're never satisfied because they know there's always a bigger possibility out there. Here's something you can start doing right now. Stop making excuses. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have connections. Those aren't real reasons. They're just ways to hide the fact that you're afraid to try. Next, set an outrageous goal. Aim to make 10 times your current income. Aim to create 100 times the value you're creating now. Aim to change 1,000 lives. When you set goals like that, your thinking has to change dramatically. The scale of your actions will naturally get bigger. So why can they set their self-worth so high? Because they unleash their inner power. Every single human being has infinite potential, a kind of divine talent given to us. But 99% of people let that power stay asleep their whole lives. What's happening in your mind right now? Resistance. You can probably hear a voice saying, that's impossible. Be realistic. That's too risky. But remember this, that voice isn't trying to protect your potential. It's trying to protect your comfort zone. Do you want to be one of the 99% or join the 1%? The choice is yours. Unleash your inner power right now. When you do, your world transforms. The impossible becomes possible. Obstacles become stepping stones. Fear becomes your weapon. This is the heart of the self-transformation that the wealthiest have mastered. Okay, your new story starts right now. Okay, let's talk about what's really missing for most people. It's not knowledge. You have more than enough knowledge available. Information? It's right there on your phone. Know-how? Books and the internet are overflowing with it. But 99% of people can't turn that knowledge into action. Why do you think that is? They're waiting for perfect preparation. Oh, I just need to study a little more. Once I save up a bit more money, after I get a little more experience, that a little more mindset, it's stealing your chances day after day. The wealthy, they think the exact opposite way. They don't wait until they're ready to start. They understand that you get ready by starting. Action has incredible power. It actually rewires your brain, builds new neural pathways, opens up possibilities you never saw before. Knowledge is just the map. Looking at the map forever won't get you anywhere. The important thing is the distance traveled. Even if you take a detour, even if the path is rough, you just keep moving. That's the core philosophy of action that successful people live by. The difference between successful people and ordinary people? It's a massive difference in the sheer volume of action. Ordinary people might take one step a day, 365 days a year. Successful people take 10 steps a day, 365 days a year. That's only a 9-step difference each day. But over a year, it's 3,285 steps. Over 10 years, a staggering 32,150 step advantage. Right now, clear your desk of all those learning books. Get out an action notebook. There's only one thing to do today. Make an action list. Write down at least 10 specific things you will do starting tomorrow. Maybe it's start studying for that certification. Research one top company in my industry every day. Attend a networking event this weekend. Start posting valuable content on social media daily. Spend 30 minutes every day planning and strategizing. That's the start of your action revolution. But remember, there's quality to action. Ordinary people, they choose safe actions. No risk, no fear of criticism, low chance of failure, so naturally their results are safe too. Successful people, they intentionally choose challenging actions, things nobody else has done, actions that might surprise people, actions with a high chance of failure. Why? Because overwhelming results only come from overwhelming action. Right now, your mind is probably screaming warnings. You can't do that. It's too dangerous. Your current life might fall apart. You might lose trust from people around you. But think about it for a second. What do you really have to lose right now? In exchange for a safe monthly paycheck, you're losing the potential of your entire life. In exchange for stable comfort, you're giving away your soul's freedom. The wealthiest people, they challenged with the readiness to lose everything. That's why they were able to gain everything. Their principles of action are simple. 1. Take at least one challenging action every single day. 2. Welcome failure as a learning opportunity. 3. Accept criticism as a sign you're moving in the right direction. 4. Record all results as data. 5. Use that data to improve your next action. Keep following these 5 principles and a breakthrough will come. The most important thing on the path to success, it's not just persistence, it's evolving persistence. If today's action is even slightly better than yesterday's, you're getting closer to success. If today's action is exactly the same as yesterday's, that's the start of decline. Life doesn't allow you to just maintain. If you're not moving forward, you are inevitably falling behind. That's a law of the universe. Okay, it's time to decide. Are you going to live a safe life, or are you going to seize a legendary one? The choice depends on your action. All right, here's a truth. The wealthiest people talk about constantly. Your income is decided by the people you spend time with. Seriously, why isn't your income going up? Maybe it's because you're only hanging out with people who make average money. Look around you right now. What's the average income of your friends? What kind of goals do your co-workers have? What kind of life is your boss living? Humans are products of their environment, and that environment is created by your relationships. The very first thing the truly wealthy did, they did a major cleanup of their relationships. They cut ties completely with anyone who laughed at their dreams. They distanced themselves from people who constantly complained or were negative. They severed connections with people whose favorite phrase was, "I can't," or "that's impossible." Look, it might sound harsh, maybe even cruel, but that is a direct shortcut to success. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Do you really understand what that means? If you hang out with 5 entrepreneurs making $3 million a year, guess what? You're going to naturally start moving towards making $3 million a year. If you hang out with 5 salarymen making $30,000 a year, your income is going to stay stuck around $30,000 forever. This isn't some mystical law of attraction or just positive thinking. It's a natural result of how the human brain resonates and influences itself within groups. So what should you do? First, stop the loser talk. Things never work out for me. It's the economy's fault. My company is bad. It's just bad luck. Cut off contact completely with anyone who loves complaining like that. They are literally stealing potential from your future. They're sucking the energy right out of your soul. Instead, go find ambitious people. Find people who talk about big dreams. Find people who are actually taking concrete action. Now, 99% of people will immediately make an excuse here. Oh, I don't have opportunities to meet those people. I don't have connections. I don't know how to find them. That's a ridiculous excuse. In the age of the internet and social media, that's laughable. Here's what you should actually do. 1, attend business events at least once a week. 2, share valuable information on social media every single day. 3, join a community of successful or aspiring successful people. 4, find a mentor and actually act on their advice. 5, find at least 3 peers who are aiming higher than you are. Valuable relationships don't just appear by waiting around. You have to proactively go out and create them. And here's the most important principle, the law of value exchange. The reason successful people will choose to spend time with you? Because you offer value. Okay, maybe you don't have money yet. Maybe you don't have connections or results yet. But what do you have? Enthusiasm? Action power? A willingness to learn? The ability to execute? Integrity? Persistence? Those are the values that successful people care about the most. Why? Because they know enthusiasm beats talent. Action power beats experience. A learning attitude beats a fancy degree. The wealthiest people surround themselves with people who take action. They look for people who actually implement advice. They look for people who act immediately on what they're told. They look for people who don't give up until they get results. And when they find people like that, they are incredibly generous with their knowledge, their connections, and their opportunities. That is the real secret to the circulation of wealth. Right now, review your relationships. Analyze the people you spend time with. Think about the content of your conversations. Is there growth happening? Is there possibility? Is there a future? If not, change it now. Relationships aren't just assets. They're investments. Where you invest your time and energy in relationships, that decides your future. And don't be afraid of being alone sometimes. Loneliness often comes right before a major leap forward. If you can't handle temporary loneliness, you'll never achieve lasting success. Decide now. Are you going to let go of those comfortable, holding you back relationships and build relationships that actually bring growth? Okay, here's a major misunderstanding most people have. 99% of people think money is just currency, just numbers on a screen, just paper. That's the mistake right there. The truly wealthy, they see money from a completely different angle. To them, money is energy. Yes, energy. It's cosmic energy that allows for the exchange of value. Why are you struggling with money? Because you don't understand the nature of this energy. Energy has a law, the law of attraction. Like attracts like. That's basic physics. A poverty mindset attracts poverty. Thoughts of lack attract lack. Feelings of anxiety attract anxiety. Listen to the words coming out of your mouth right now. I don't have enough money. This debt is killing me. The future is scary. Those words are literally creating your reality. The truly wealthy are incredibly careful with their words. They never say, I don't have. Instead, they say, I am going to create. They never say, I can't. Instead, they say, how can I do it? They never say, it's impossible. Instead, they say, I just haven't found the way yet. This isn't just simple positive thinking. It's a strategic way of programming your brain, based on how the brain creates your reality. Your brain has this incredible characteristic. It can't tell the difference between reality and vivid imagination. If you strongly focus on poverty, your brain activates the poverty realization program. As a result, you'll only see and make poverty-level choices. But if you strongly focus on abundance, your brain activates the abundance realization program. As a result, you'll start seeing and making abundant choices. So what specifically should you do? 1. First thing in the morning, do an abundance meditation. Close your eyes in a quiet place and vividly imagine your ideal abundant life. Feel it with all your senses. 2. Practice a daily gratitude ritual. Be truly thankful for everything you have right now. Gratitude is the most powerful energy for attracting more. 3. Choose your words wisely. Change no to I will create, can't, to how can I, impossible, to it's a challenge. Change your words, change your reality. 4. Create an abundance vision board. Visualize your ideal life and stand in front of it daily, affirming your abundance. 5. Be conscious of the circulation of wealth. Money is circulating energy. Don't be afraid to spend it, but spend it as an investment. 6. Focus on value. Instead of thinking, I don't have money, think, what value can I provide? The wealthiest people do this every single morning. They know their thoughts create their reality. But here's a really important warning. This isn't wishing. It's not praying. It's not just daydreaming. This is strategic thought programming. Your brain is like a computer. It can be programmed. Right now, it probably has the poverty program installed. You need to rewrite it with the abundance program. This rewriting takes time. At least 21 days to start rewiring those neural pathways. Practice this intensely for 21 days. Don't miss a single day. A thought is like a seed. If you consistently plant good seeds in good soil every single day, they will sprout, they will flower, and they will bear fruit. That's a law of the universe. It's time to change your thinking It's time to change your reality. It's time to change your life. Poverty is not your story anymore. Abundance is your new story. Okay? Are you ready to receive the energy of wealth? All right, let's talk about leadership. 99% of people have a fatal misunderstanding about what a leader is. They think leaders are chosen, appointed, or born with some special talent. That's dead wrong. Here's the truth the wealthy teach. Leadership is a choice. If you decide today that you're going to be a leader, right now, you become a leader. It's not about your position, your authority, or your title. Leadership is simply the willingness to take responsibility. Why are you stuck in your current role? Why isn't your team, your authority, or your income growing? Because you're avoiding responsibility. You're waiting for your boss to tell you what to do. You're waiting for the company policy to change. You're waiting for the environment to get better. Those are all just excuses for dodging responsibility. The truly wealthy? They took responsibility from day one. Even when nobody told them to, even when nobody approved, even when nobody supported them, they raised their hand and said, I will do it. I will take responsibility. I will get the results. That attitude towards responsibility is what creates all the difference in outcomes. So why do 99% of people run away from responsibility? Because they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of criticism. They're afraid of being alone. But think about it for a second. Which is really safer? A life where you run away from responsibility, where you're constantly doing what someone else tells you, constantly worried about what someone else thinks of you, constantly following someone else's plan, or a life where you take responsibility, living life constantly controlled by others? That is the biggest danger. Here's how to practice leadership simply. 1. When you see a problem, immediately propose a solution. Don't wait to be asked or recognized or thanked. Just do it. 2. Commit to results. No excuses. Don't blame the environment. Don't blame other people. 3. Don't be afraid to make decisions. You'll never have 100% of the information. If you have 80%, make the decision now. You can fill in the remaining 20% as you take action. 4. Welcome criticism. Criticism is actually proof that you're moving in the right direction, that you're challenging the status quo. A leader who gets no criticism isn't changing anything and isn't challenging anything. 5. Accept loneliness. True leaders are often lonely. Why? Because they see a future nobody else sees yet. They're pursuing possibilities nobody else can even imagine. 6. Accelerate your learning. Leaders are the fastest learners. Absorb new knowledge every day. Sharpen your skills every day. Look for new perspectives every day. And here's the most important point. Understand the nature of influence. Influence doesn't come from your position. It doesn't come from authority. It doesn't come from forcing people. Influence comes from trust. It comes from your results. It comes from your consistency. So how do you build trust? By giving first. Give value first. Give your knowledge first. Give your support first. Don't expect anything in return. Don't expect praise. Don't demand thanks. Just keep giving. And when you do, something amazing happens. People start gathering around you. Your words gain weight. Your presence gains value. That is the nature of true influence. Leadership begins with a declaration. Declare right now, I am going to be a leader. I will take responsibility. I will clear the way. The moment you declare that, your story will start to change. Your reality will start to rewrite itself. Remember this, the universe gives all possibility to those who are willing to take responsibility. Okay, let's talk about true wealth. 99% of people only think about getting rich. They chase after money, but they don't understand the real nature of wealth. That's why they never get truly rich. Here's the truth the wealthiest teach. Wealth is simply the result of creating value. Why aren't you creating wealth? Because you're probably providing too little value. A $30,000 a year reality? That's proof you're only providing about $30,000 a year in value. $1 million a year reality? That's proof you're providing $1 million a year in value. It's a law of the universe, the principle of exchange. So how do you increase the value you provide? By changing your perspective. Ordinary people, they only think about their own profit. How can I get rich? How can I make easy money? How can I escape my current situation quickly? That small perspective only leads to small results. The truly wealthy, they think about societal value. How can I solve a problem for society? How can I make people's lives better? How can I create new possibilities for the world? That big perspective leads to big results. Grab a notebook right now. Answer these questions. 1. Write down 10 problems in the world. Environment, poverty, education. What are the challenges? 2. Write down 10 frustrations people have. Inconveniences, things they're stuck on, things they wish were better. 3. Write down 10 future possibilities. How will technology change things? How will society shift? This is the first step in thinking like a billionaire. Only those who try to change the world deserve to get massive wealth from the world. There's a critical principle here. Influence and income are directly proportional. The more people you influence, the more your income will grow. Why do CEOs of huge companies make astronomical salaries? Because their decisions impact the lives of hundreds of thousands, even millions of people. Why do entrepreneurs build massive wealth? Because their businesses change the lives of vast numbers of people. So what specifically should you do? 1. Sharpen your problem-solving skills. Become acutely aware of society's challenges. Keep brainstorming solutions. And then, execute them. 2. Think at scale. Don't just think about changing one person's life. Think about changing 1 million lives. 3. Use leverage. Technology, systems, people. Use every means possible to amplify your influence. 4. Take a long-term view. Don't focus on short-term profit. Think about the value you'll create in 10 or 20 years. 5. Create an ecosystem. Build not just a business, but a mechanism for creating sustainable value. And the most important thing? Have a sense of mission. Not just making money. Have a mission to change society. That sense of mission, that's what allows the wealthiest to overcome setbacks, withstand criticism, and push through difficulties. Here's the astonishing truth they teach. Social value and personal wealth are not opposing forces. In fact, the more intensely you pursue social value, the greater your personal wealth will become. That's a law of the universe. So I'm asking you now, why are you seeking wealth? Why are you aiming for success? If your answer is just for myself, you won't achieve true lasting wealth. But if you have a purpose to serve society, that's when unlimited possibility opens up. It's time to change your perspective. It's time to let go of small desires. It's time to embrace a massive mission. That is the first step towards true wealth. All right, let's talk about success itself. 99% of people have a fatal misunderstanding about what success is. They think it's a goal you reach, a destination, something you finish. That's completely wrong. Here's the truth the wealthy teach. Success is a never-ending process of evolution. Why do a lot of people who get a quick win or make a lot of money fast often lose it all? Why do over 90% of lottery winners end up back where they started within a few years? Because they stopped evolving. Wealth has a fascinating characteristic. It doesn't tolerate stagnation. The moment you stop evolving, wealth starts leaving you. The truly wealthy? They wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. Their entire day is structured around evolution. From 5 to 7 a.m., that's untouchable learning time. The absolute best time for absorbing new knowledge. From 7 to 8 a.m., strategic thinking time, clarifying goals, planning their actions for the day, and they use every spare moment. On their commute, audio learning, waiting somewhere, analyzing their industry. Before bed, always an hour of reading. Why are they so relentless? Because evolution is the only way to keep attracting wealth. The wealthiest people invest seriously in themselves. Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, maybe even more. New knowledge, new skills, new connections. They don't just read books. They implement what they learn from specialized books, dozens every year. They get coaching and guidance from top mentors, hundreds of hours annually. They run experimental projects, thousands of hours dedicated to testing new ideas. That's what creates the circulation of wealth. The top 1% have this ability to see patterns. They can extract a single law from 1,000 pieces of information. They can build a solid system from 100 failures. And they use technology as a weapon. AI is their second brain. Automation is their second pair of hands. Digital tools are their second nervous system. If you're not using these forces today, you're basically not even in the game anymore. The world is changing in real time. Knowledge from yesterday, already old. A strategy from last month, already outdated. Common sense from a year ago, completely irrelevant. Can you handle that reality? The truly wealthy destroy themselves every day. They recreate themselves every day. They evolve themselves every day. That's the only way to keep attracting wealth. The world is evolving at a breakneck speed right now. Are you going to ride that wave or are you going to be swallowed by it? The choice is in your hands. Evolution is the only survival strategy. All right, let's talk about something that trips up a lot of people, spirituality. 99% of people completely misunderstand it. They think it's just religion, or some vague philosophy, or something unscientific. That's a fatal error. Here's what the wealthiest people have proven. Spirituality is the most practical success technique there is. Why do the top 1% meditate? Why do leading executives constantly engage in spiritual training? Because they know the truth. True wealth comes from the spirit. Brilliant decisions come from silence. Innovative ideas emerge from your inner voice. The truly wealthy, they wake up even earlier, sometimes 4 a.m., and they dedicate 2 hours every single morning to spiritual practice. Why are they so committed? Because they know there's no sustainable success without spirituality. They might meditate for 2 hours a day, 60 minutes of complete silence, 60 minutes of deep introspection. What does that do? It dramatically increases their decision-making power. It sharpens their intuition. It unlocks their creativity. Top executives set aside dedicated time every single week just for silence. No phones, no internet, just complete solitude for hours. 8 hours of strategic solitude can determine the direction for the next decade. They practice gratitude every day. 15 minutes in the early morning, a deep gratitude meditation that activates the brain's reward system, strengthens the law of attraction, and actually creates new opportunities. This practice is the foundation of a billionaire's day. The wealthiest also have weekly dialogues with spiritual peers. It's not just casual chat, it's a soul-level recalibration. They invest serious money in this, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, because it enables them to make million and billion-dollar decisions. Spirituality is the ultimate leverage. It allows you to make calm, clear judgments under immense pressure. It allows you to confidently execute decisions that impact thousands of lives. The only thing that makes that possible is spiritual strength. The wealthiest practice daily self-dialogue too. 15 minutes in front of the mirror, confirming their commitments, their mission, their core values. This builds an unshakable center. And quarterly, they have intense periods of spiritual cleansing, 72 hours of fasting, 72 hours of digital detox, 72 hours of deep introspection. This practice births new visions. Spirituality is the strongest competitive advantage you can have. Why? Because it cannot be copied, because it cannot be bought on the market, and because it actually gets stronger over time. You can start your spiritual practice right now. Just 15 minutes of meditation in the morning, just 15 minutes of gratitude at night. 1 hour of silence once a week. That is how you build your spiritual muscle. Remember this, success without spirituality is a sandcastle. It is destined to collapse. True wealth is built only on the foundation of unwavering spirituality. It's time to unleash your inner power. Okay, you're standing at a really critical point right now. Everything I've shared with you is the truth. The exact blueprint the wealthiest people have used to get results over and over again. But here's the thing. Knowledge is completely useless if you don't act on it. And 99% of people, right at this moment, are going to start making excuses again. Oh, I don't have enough time. My environment is bad. I'm not ready yet. But seriously, think about this. If someone told you there was a guaranteed way to get $100 million right now, would you still say you don't have time? If you were guaranteed that taking action today would absolutely change your life, would you still make excuses about your environment? The truly wealthy? They value only execution. They face concrete numbers every single day. Their 30-day sales targets, their 90-day profit plans, their 1-year business expansion goals, and they break those down into daily actions, hourly practices, even minute-by-minute decisions. Why are they so intense about this? Because time is the one resource everyone gets equally. 24 hours a day, 168 hours a week, 8,760 hours a year. You have the exact same amount of time as the wealthiest person on the planet. The only difference is how you use it. The wealthy don't waste a single minute. That 30-minute commute, audio learning. A 15-minute wait, strategic thinking. An hour before bed, planning for tomorrow. They manage their lives in 15-minute blocks because they know that compounding those small chunks of time is what fundamentally changes your life. 15 minutes of focused practice every day, that's 91 hours a year. Keep that up for 10 years, that's over 900 hours of dedicated effort. That's where the difference between success and mediocrity comes from. You can start doing this right now. Start a 90-day challenge. 1 for the first 30 days. Wake up at 5 a.m. Dedicate 2 hours to self-investment. Execute on your concrete action plan. 2 for the next 30 days. Aim for 50 distinct actions every day. Build your network. Maximize the value you're providing. 3. For the final 30 days, analyze your results. Refine your strategy. Plan your next 90 days. This 90-day period, it absolutely will change your life. Why? Because this is the proven method the wealthiest have used to get results. But here's a warning. Half-hearted practice changes nothing. Doing what you can won't work. Waiting to see how it goes won't work. If I have time, that means absolutely nothing. What's required? Unwavering resolve. The kind of determination that feels like you're fighting for your life. The execution power of someone with their back against the wall. Decide right now. Are you going to continue living an ordinary life, or are you going to create a legend? Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to grab results? Are you going to keep dreaming, or are you going to change your reality? The choice is entirely in your hands. The wealthiest people, they're waiting for your decision. Their knowledge, it's all been shared. Their methods, they've all been revealed. All that's left is your execution. It's time for action. It's time for the decision. It's time for revolution. Go on, start your legend.